Okay, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Sethi Ravel. I'm the program manager of the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative at Charlotte is Creative. It's a lot of words, but we're here to support the creative community here in Charlotte, and we are so grateful that you are here with us to kick off your new year. We have some really exciting events coming up, and I'm going to share my screen. Tim, if you want to go over these real quick, and then we'll kick it to Lauren. So
Absolutely.
give me 1 second. I'm going to share. Here we go. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yeah. Well,
Yep,
hey
got
guys,
it.
as I'm just thrilled that you are choosing to start your new year with us. Thank you for being here tonight. If you don't know me, I'm Tim Miner. I'm one of the co-founders of Charlotte is Creative. And if you didn't see our Instagram feed yesterday, or what I want to share with you is our theme for this year is make creative friends. That we've after the 9 years we've been doing this and supporting the creative community and talking to all of you about how to build your creative business, one of the things we keep coming back to is you can't have enough friends, you can't have enough colleagues, you can't have enough mentors, you can't be a mentor to enough people. But it all starts with us making friends and reaching out to one another to invite that friendship. So many creatives work in isolation, or we are introverts. Like, I know it's, if you've seen me on stage or you've seen me on the other end of one of these before, it's probably hard to believe, but I'm fairly introverted. In fact, I'm largely introverted. Like, the holidays are tough for me because you're peopling all the time. But one of the things that lights me up, and one of the things how I've grown over the last couple of years, is making creative friendships, and that is reaching out, always going into any room saying, I want to meet somebody, I want to hear their story, and I want to carry their story with me. That has helped me gain knowledge, comfort, and the more I meet you, the more rooms I'm comfortable in. Because if I show up and you're there and I know you, or I'm getting to know you, I feel like I belong. And in Charlotte, there's not a single room in this town that you don't belong in, that a creative doesn't belong in. A room, in fact, there are rooms crying out for us. And so everything we do, and I promise you, like, we've mapped out over 50 live events that we as an organization are going to do this year. And I promise you we'll come up with 10 more before the end of the year, and we'll probably collaborate on 20 to 30 other events. All of it is about helping you make creative friends and then learning how to tell your story, collect stories, and carry stories with you. And tonight is a really important part of that. So I'm not going to keep you from Lauren very long, but there are two immediate opportunities to make creative friends and then tell your story and collect other people's stories. And starting with tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is the first Creative Mornings gathering of the year. Our speaker is the amazing Michaela Binter. She's going to be talking on the global theme of journey, and she's going to tell you the story, her story of how she went from somebody who thought about being an artist to someone who is actively on their creative journey. If you want to come to that, shoot this QR code. We still have room in the building, although probably only about 20 or 30 seats left. Well, maybe more like 15 actually. Or you can just put in the chat, I want to go to Creative Mornings, with your name and email address, and I'll sign you up right now. And then Saturday, so just like 36 hours, actually about 40 hours from now, like, I want you to be, no, it's 36. I can't do enough math. I want you to be with us at the Soul Food Noda and the Urban District Market on North Davidson Street for the first Charlotte Reciprocity Circle event of the year. This is a social capital or social energy exchange program. We're doing this one with the Love Bolt, the amazing people from the Love Bolt. And this is an opportunity for you to make creative friends and then tell your creative story. It's an opportunity for you to put into practice what Lauren's going to teach you tonight. We break everybody who comes up into circles of 10 to 20, and every single person in the circle gets a chance to share who they are quickly and then share one immediate need, challenge, or question they have. Then everyone else in the circle gets to share what they have, share the knowledge, the contacts, the help, the inspiration, the encouragement that they have to serve that individual. And then once you've gone and told your story, you get to hear the stories of so many others, and you get to raise your paddle and offer them help as you have it. So please, if you want to come, shoot this QR code, reach out to me, put it in the chat. Tim, I want to go to Creative Mornings. Tim, I want to go to Charlotte Reciprocity Circle, and I will get you signed up right now. The most important thing is that Lauren's going to give you nuggets today, really great insights into how to craft your pitch and how to pitch yourself. But if you don't use that knowledge, we all know you're going to immediately start to use it. So as soon as Saturday, put that into practice. Take what you learned tonight and tell your story. We've seen amazing things come out of these events. We've seen partnerships, friendships, mentors, people become a mentor or a mentee of the people they meet. I mean, long after the event is 10 to 11:30 a.m., trust me, there are dozens of people still talking, still meeting, still getting to know one another when we wrap the event up after it's over, and that's what lights us up. This year is about telling your story, carrying other people's stories, and making creative friends. Join us tomorrow and Saturday. I promise you, you'll love them both. And with that, I'm going to honor my promise and kick it back over to Lauren. Don't be shy. Put me to work. Tell me to sign you up.
Thanks, Tim. All right, here we go. I'm not muted anymore, right, y'all? The
Correct.
so I wanted to share just a little bit, and then I'll kick it to Lauren. But Tim mentioned opportunities this year where we will collaborate with individuals, creative groups, organizations, and this is how this event came to be. Lauren's been a really great friend of Charlotte is Creative for a number of years, but what I appreciate most is that she reached out a couple of months ago and asked how she can serve the creative community. She brings a unique approach and a personal touch to her presentation skills and professional speaking. And so as creatives, whether you are introducing yourself to someone new at Creative Mornings tomorrow, or you find yourself at the Charlotte Reciprocity Circles event on Saturday, um, you'll have opportunities to tell folks who you are, what ideas you have, what you are about, how they can hire you, how they can work with you. And so tonight you'll be receiving some coaching and tools to help you prepare for those opportunities. Lauren's presentation is going to focus a lot on the Reciprocity Circles event and how to really maximize that experience. But whether it's that event or others, these are tools that you're going to be able to take with you and carry with you on many interactions that you will have as a creative entrepreneur. So, Lauren, thank you for reaching out to us. Thank you for being here tonight, and everyone, thanks for joining. And I will now spotlight you.
Yay! Give it up
I love
first.
it.
Take two and Tim and Creative Mornings. Woo! Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see this beautiful, beautiful piece right here that I created? My own artwork. Thanks, Canva. Okay. I'm going to get my chat out here and I'm going to put my screen up so that I can navigate and still see your beautiful faces. So, yes, we're going to be talking about sharpening your pitch, how to introduce yourselves. And I love, love, love that your theme is make creative friends this year, because that is what we're going to be. The first step of that is introducing yourself to people, getting to know people. That's what we're going to cover in tonight's program. So, first things first, I would like to ask us to make sure that our microphones are working. So briefly, quickly with me, please unmute your microphones. Everyone unmute. Unmute yourselves. Very briefly, I want you to do something with me. I want you to trust through the process, okay? I want you to, at the count of three, I want us to laugh as loud as we can so I can make sure your microphone's hot, okay? Laugh as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. So they work.
Beautiful. I love
They
it.
work.
Thank you so much. Okay, now for the purposes of this class tonight, this coaching, this training, I would love for you to, by default, be on mute, but you know where that unmute button is. Please unmute yourself. If you have a question, if you have a thought, if you'd like to share, this is supposed to be interactive. This is not just me talking at you for the rest of this hour together. Okay? Give me a thumbs up. Everybody good with that? Okay, awesome. So also, I want you to be very active in the chat. I want you to learn from each other. I want you to share. I want you to share your WIFM. Your WIFM is what's in it for me. Why are you joining us tonight? What are you wanting to get out of this meeting? This will help me kind of tailor it a little bit if I see a trend or if I see someone who needs a particular something. But yeah, put in the chat right now. Why are you here? Let us know. I'm going to wait. I'm waiting. Gonna awkwardly stare at everybody till you answer in the chat. Oh, Hannah, stop it. Okay, you want to learn. Perfect. Meet new people, connect, better confidence, quick but effective intro. James. Yes. New to Charlotte. Oh, Holly, so glad that you're here. That's awesome. Okay, what else? Stand out when we do the same thing. Scott, I love it. And I know who you are, Scott. Yes. Get her at granting, writing stories, sharing stories. Share the value. Learn to pitch. Love to speak, but want to know how to resonate. Yes, meet new people. I need words. I have all the feelings. Oh, Salita, we're gonna talk about that. Introduce myself to more people, sharpen my pitch, hone my pitch. Not let my introverted nature stop me. I am in the Tim camp, Tia, with you, with being introverted. I feel it. We've got to power through it. So yes, there's certain ways we can do that. Second, grant writing. Okay, tighten my intro. Love that. Be more confident when I speak. Have a lot of experience, but pitch is never confident. Really hot buttoning what I have to offer. Yes. Lurking. We love a lurker, Sally. Welcome to the fold. Being more engaging when I speak. Okay. Oh, hey, comma. Okay. All right. So this is excellent. I'm going to try to keep these in mind as we move forward. And please, again, be engaged in the chat. Okay. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'll have to see this. Okay, we're going to cover 3 things. I'm a big fan of the rule of 3, which is people remember patterns. It's easy to remember 3 things. This is what we're going to cover in tonight. We're going to talk about how to introduce ourselves and what we do clearly and concisely, as we've mentioned in the chat already, that need. Craft our ask or our pitch. This is specifically geared for the Reciprocity Circle, but you can take these nuggets in for pitching other things such as grants or etc. And then storytelling concepts, which goes into all of this because people remember through stories. So we want to incorporate the why we're doing something and share a story. Think of it as kind of like a mini case study. Very good. Okay. Very good. Okay. So we're going to cover a lot of things, and it will include a little bit of public speaking, a little bit of how to get some cash money out of this, how to monetize what you do, which is awesome, or create value, bring more value, storytelling, and then maybe some brainstorming some things as I see them in the chat, or if you come off of mute and we kind of have a conversation. Perfect. So who is this oddly energetic introvert yelling at you through the screen? So hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Ansley with Ansley Corporate Entertainment. I'm a corporate entertainer and trainer with a background in stand-up comedy. And I work with organizations to de-borify their business meetings, conferences, and special events, transforming them into unforgettable moments. That was my pitch. Well, that was my introduction, I should say. That was my elevator pitch that I just gave to you all just then. It's about 15 seconds. It has taken me 5 years to make that. Okay. So you can always work on your pitch. You can't, I was working on this presentation actually, and I came up with the word deborify. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. That's what I'm going to use now. Because you can always change your pitch. It doesn't have to be one and done. Our lives change. My business looks completely different from how I started to what I do now. So it's okay to refine. So don't feel like you have to memorize something and then it's set in stone. You can always adjust. This is a fluid, flexible thing, and you can have multiple introductions depending on who you're talking to. I'm going to sound different when I'm talking with presenting myself to a very large organization versus, maybe one person who's in the creative community versus a corporate client, right? It's just different audiences for different introductions. Okay, so that's who I am. And why this matters to me is I want to share with you a little bit of an interesting, embarrassing moment that I had. I was on a networking virtual call back during COVID days, and we all had a chance to introduce ourselves. And I had 60 seconds, which is well over what you should take. I did mine in about 15 seconds when I introduced myself. I had 60 seconds in this virtual call. Okay, comedian, background stand-up comedy. I'm all about minutes. I'm all about timing. So I just start talking and I have no clear path. I have no clear bullet points. It's supposed to introduce yourselves on this networking call. And I started rambling and I couldn't stop talking and they muted me. And that's what my face looked like. This little guy right on the screen. I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. And I couldn't talk the whole rest of the time and I blew my chance. So let's not let that happen to you, right? Also, when it comes to 60 seconds, that's plenty of time. That's more than enough for you to introduce who you are. Now, of course, if you're talking about a pitch or an ask, something specifically, that can go longer. But remember, people have super short attention spans. It's actually a fact, disturbing fact, that we have less attention spans than goldfish. It's 10 seconds or less because half of you are probably on your phones by now. Some of you haven't communicated in the chat or even have it open. Some of you are doing other things, but that's totally fine. But my point is, especially in a virtual environment, we have limited opportunities to keep people's attention. So we need to shorten what we say so that it's punchy, right? So that also comes into word economy. We can say the same thing in fewer words. That's what the whole thing of stand-up comedy is. We have to get to the granular level of what it is that we're saying. But we can also refine this. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to ask you in a little bit to actually start writing your introduction, and I'm going to give you a formula for it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be something that's going to hold people's attentions. Okay, and the added benefit of putting all of this together is that when you are easily explaining what you do and who you work with, then even when you have conversations that aren't with your ideal client or anyone that could ever actually hire you or work with you or book you or whatever the case may be, they can refer you. You want to be so easily remembered that people remember you when someone else mentions that they have a need or when someone else wants to know what it is that you do, that it's very clear. Okay, I've been talking a lot. Is everybody tracking? Is this making sense? Are we good? Okay. Okay, cool. Now we're going to thank you for the thumbs up. Now we're going to go into a little bit of your work. And I saw Eliyahu, am I saying your name right now? Correct? Okay. I saw your pen, so I think you're set. You're ready to take some notes. And you can put this in the chat or you can write it on a piece of paper. But I would like to know, what are 3 adjectives that describe you, your personality, who you are, what's your vibe? This is for everyone. But just think, and you can put it in the chat if you'd like to share and give other people some inspiration. My 3 words would be funny, compassionate, and driven. So those are my 3 words. If you'd like to share your 3 words, please feel free. Of course, these can ebb and flow. Okay, love it. Authentic, creative, passionate, analytical, curious, focused, active, confident, creative. Oh, firm, fabulous, fun. CT, I like it. Okay, playful, inclusive, organized, love it. Okay, so somebody mentioned in the chat before, how can I stand out from people who do similar things? It's through these adjectives. So these descriptors, whatever your adjectives are, I want you to think of how can I incorporate one or all 3 or some of my vibe into my introduction. I mean, I have a background in stand-up comedy, so technically what I do is I should be funny, right? Well, sometimes I get so in the weeds and I get so serious about crafting my perfect pitch that I forget to have some fun with it. So, Brianna, I'm going to use you as an example. You say witchy, playful, and free. So Brianna's intro is not going to be, I do this, right? That's the general formula, but you have to add some personality in there, add some witchiness, some freedom, some fun into your introduction. So the 3 adjectives are a starting point. The next slide, it's got a lot of information on it. I'm just going to warn you, it's the heaviest slide I have in this presentation. but this is the formula. This is the starting point for your introduction. This is for your 10 to 15-ish second introduction. You want to aim for 2 sentences. This is just your intro. This isn't what you want, need, or you're pitching. This is introducing yourself. So the formula is the sample format. You can deviate from this, but this is a helpful sample starting point. Hi, I'm your name with your organization, and I help my ideal clients with this problem or this ideal outcome through this solution. This is a starting point. This does not have to be the destination, but you want to ideally include a fun fact, an attention grabber. Consider those 3 adjectives that you used. How could you incorporate those into this? So yes, this is what I do, but let me add in a little bit of creativity when I say it, so that when you introduce yourself and then the next person introduces themselves and that you do exactly the same thing, you've differentiated yourself over here. So this might not be something you think of right now, but this is food for thought going into Saturday, going into future networking. So yes. So my example is the one that I gave you already. My name is Lauren Ansley with Ansley Corporate Entertainment. I'm a corporate entertainer and trainer with a background in stand-up comedy. That's a fun fact. I work with organizations to deborify, that's humorous, their meetings, conferences, and special events, transforming them into unforgettable experiences. So that's mine. Okay. An example of someone that's more in the creative space might be like, hi, I'm Cheryl Raven. I'm a sculptor, avid gardener, and lover of the outdoors. Interesting fact. I work with city planners to rehab abandoned lots into community gardens full of locally sourced plants, vegetables, and sustainable art for the community. With sustainable art would be the thing that you really want to be like promoting um, as a plus, as a fun factor, an attention grabber, and something that kind of sets you apart. So I've been talking for a minute. You are being very quiet, but somewhat active in the chat, which is good. Does anyone have a starting point that they would like to share? And we can kind of craft it together, maybe. Put it in the chat, come off of mute. Abigail, I know this we're 3, but original nice girl is kind of fun, just as a phrase all in itself. So yeah.
Hey,
So here,
Lauren. I
yeah,
was thinking, like, I want a book. I wanted to kind of, on client meetings and stuff, it's like I wanted to kind of just say more than like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. So I kind of want to have 2, like one for real life and then one for my work life.
absolutely.
That kind of, stands out a little bit and makes me less boring, or makes a work meeting a little less boring without being about me, me, me. How
Yeah.
is there a way to make it like keep it professional but make it a little more interesting?
Yeah. Who was that?
Trish.
Trish, I thought I recognized your voice. Yes. So exactly. So like I said, my introduction is going to be different when it's, me talking with a buttoned up corporate organization versus somebody at a creative morning exhibit,
Mhm.
is maybe a little bit more casual or creative. So you would decide what you want to pick out as your fun thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, you have a background in improv.
Yeah.
Um, but you could also say how that apply, like you could talk about how that applies to your work maybe. But yeah,
Okay.
you could have multiple pitches.
Awesome.
So, so what are you thinking as far as like, okay, let me ask you this. Why do you want to have one for work?
Well, because I'm a project manager, so I'm always, whenever I get a new project, we have like an intro call where we say who's who on what side, on my company side and on the client side. So usually I'm just like, oh, hi, I'm Trish. I'll be the PM on this project. It's just like boring and quick, and I don't know if I had something that's a little more telling about my personality or something, it might engage people more. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
they don't give a shit,
absolutely.
I
I think
don't
that's a
know.
great idea. I think that's a great idea. And then that can be like, oh yeah, Trish, I remember her because of this. So how do you want to be remembered? What do you want to share? What would be something you'd want to share with people?
Hmm. I guess I have to
Like,
think on
like
it.
Well, I'll tell you because Trish actually, little plug. I do a women's stand up comedy class in Charlotte, and Trish took my class, and so I know Trish from the class that you sample how many beers, like craft beers. You love craft beers.
I hit 200 breweries before the new year, so woo.
Yeah. So that could be like, you could be introducing yourself and you'd be like, hey, I'm your project man. I'm just thinking out loud with you, but you would like workshop this. I'm your project manager. I'll be working with you on this project. Really excited. I actually want to also share, I'm very excited. I hit 200 breweries visited last year, but don't work. I won't be drinking while I'm working on your project. Just a fun little something, you
Yeah.
know? And then also that's a point of connection that people can pull back to. So it's like, hey, I remember like, oh, I love breweries too. Or, oh, if I'm ever visiting Charlotte, you have to tell me the best breweries to go to.
Yeah,
Or
I
if
like that.
they're in a certain area, you're like, oh, I've been to that brewery, been to that brewery, something like that, where you can add a little bit of personality, but not too much because you still want to be somewhat buttoned up. But
Awesome. Yeah, I like that.
okay. All right, I'm seeing some really great adjectives in here. Okay. I see Tina. Um, oh, conversation starter. Okay. So yeah, I think this is a great example of how you can include some personal things. Don't be scared to include something that's a little bit outside of the box. In other words, it adds personality. So, does anyone have one that they have kind of sketched out that they'd like to come off of mute, maybe share? A brave volunteer?
I'll
Say
go.
to, oh, yes, who is this?
This is Priya.
Hi, Priya.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey,
Thank
what
you
you
for
got?
doing this.
Oh my
I
gosh, my
thought I'd give
pleasure.
it a try.
Yeah, please, please, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Priya Surkar with Road Openers. I'm an artist, strategist, and former funder. I help people and ideas achieve their full potential by connecting them with collaborators, resources, and creative energy.
I love it. Everybody give Priya a hand. That was great. Okay, Priya, how do you feel about that?
Thanks. Um, I feel pretty good about it, but I think it's a little, I guess I feel like it might be a little long. Um,
Okay.
and um I added in the I'm an artist, strategist, and former funder to kind of like I've been using what I just shared without that piece, but
Hmm.
I added it in just to kind of base it on the couple of examples that are on the screen right now.
Okay.
And so I don't know, I guess I'm wondering if it's too long or if it seems fine to you or you would suggest any other changes.
Yeah. So I thank you for sharing. If you feel like it's too long, then it's too long. Um, if you feel like it's too long. So I feel like what caught my attention is when you said former funder. Like I'm curious, what does that mean? So I don't know how relevant that is because it's nice alliteration, but I feel like you could be maybe a little bit more specific with exactly what it is that you do because you said say it again for us.
Oh, sorry. Let me go back to it. Just that part. Say that part
Oh,
again.
the whole
Or
thing, the whole thing.
okay. Hi, I'm Priya Surkar with Road Openers. I'm an artist, strategist, and former funder. I help people and ideas achieve their full potential by connecting them with collaborators, resources, and creative energy.
Okay. So what exactly what's your company name again?
Road Openers.
Road Openers. Okay. So tell me about your business. What does your business do?
So we combine advising, networking, and philanthropy to help people and organizations to achieve their vision. So we
Okay, and
can
how do you do
connect people to expertise and potential collaborators and funding.
okay. So okay. So you connect who are you connecting again? Who are you doing the connecting for?
Individuals and also organizations.
Okay, what kind of organizations and individuals?
Well, this is where it can be like a little complicated. So
Okay.
I would say artists and creatives, but also people who are working in arts and culture and social impact. So that could be, it could be nonprofits, it could be for profits, businesses, and certainly also individuals.
Okay. So artists in the creative space. Okay. Okay. So what does former funder mean?
I have worked as a grant maker in various types of philanthropic
Okay.
endeavors. Yeah.
Does your organization still do that?
No, this is a brand new organization.
Okay, okay, okay. So I don't know that you need to say what you used to do. I think you just need to say what you do now. Like I could say, Mike, I say I have a background in stand-up comedy because I incorporate comedy into my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering, do you have this written down?
Yes.
Could you type it into the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. I will just, while I'm pasting it in, I was going to say, but I think the reason that I include that is that I think that part of the special sauce is that I have a background in philanthropy. Otherwise, um, like that's why I have relationships with funders around the country. So if I
Okay.
didn't say that, I think if I were someone else talking to a person saying, I'll connect, I know folks in philanthropy, but I didn't have that background, I'd probably be like, well, how do you know how do you know funders around the country? Well, it's because
Yeah.
that I have worked in it for much of my career.
Okay. I think it might be valuable to say I'm connected with funders across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of achieve their full potential, that's a little bit more corporate than
Mm-hmm.
what you actually do. Like the end result. The end result is what? Resources and what?
Collaborators and creative energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So let me
maybe
source.
maybe
Mhm.
I delete the full potential part and just say I help I connect people and organizations with collaborators, resources, and creative energy.
I like that. I like that. So let me crowdsource this with the group. What words stand out to you about this? Like when you're hearing this from Priya say this, what words stood out to you when she said this, or what words stand out to you in this?
And she said it one
I,
more time.
yeah, and it's also in the chat. Priya, could you say it one more time?
Sure. Hi, I'm Priya Sturkar with Road Openers. I'm an artist, strategist, and former funder. I help people and ideas achieve their full potential by connecting them with collaborators, resources, and creative energy.
Did anyone have any like? Okay, okay.
Can
Actually, I
I
have
say
another thing.
something? I
Yes.
maybe it's just me, but when you say all of this, I don't understand it 100%. Like
Yeah.
you explained it, and then I understood it, but just with that, I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's talking, please? I can't see your name pop up. What's your name?
I'm Sonia. I'm new.
Sonia. Sonia. Okay.
Yeah.
Sonia. So based on the version that Priya said, what did you think that she did? If you had to
I thought
guess what
he
she
was
did.
like consulting. I don't know.
Okay. Priya, are you a consultant?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think you're a good way there, and we're gonna move on to some other people, but I also want to mention I we don't have to cram as many words in there. If you think that if you felt like it was too long or it's too wordy, you like you said, you could say I'm an artist, strategist, and former funder. I connect people and their ideas with collaborators, resources, and creative energy. So I connect
Awesome.
people with and their ideas to this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe like in writing that you could say something like this, but when you're talking about it, like punchier, a little bit punchier.
Yeah.
And even mine could be a little punchier in my example. I could just say, like, I don't expressively say that I do presentation skills training, MC coaching, all these services, but this is the ideal outcome. So you connect them with collaborators, resources, and creative energy. So can you type in the chat your revised based on what we just said? revised version?
Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you, and thank
Yeah.
you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for contributing, everyone. Okay, Holly. I am Holly Nanez. Apologize if I mispronounced that.
Narias.
Nanez? Okay.
Yes.
I'm Holly Nanez, an independent theater maker and producer and professional substitute teacher. I am inspired to work with underrepresented populations, people of color, and immigrant voices to help foster inclusivity, community, and artistic expression through the performing arts. I do this by carving out opportunities as a teaching artist for theater, by creating workshops for the community in unconventional spaces. Okay, perfect. Holly, at the end, are you open? I should have asked Priya this as well. Are you open to feedback and working on this, Holly? Workshopping this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
So I think that this is good for like in writing, but in person, saying it out loud, I feel like it, or over the phone, I feel like you could probably condense this a little. So the professional substitute teacher, is that included in this service here, or is that something else that you also do?
That's just my fun fact.
Okay. I almost think you could say like, I'm an independent theater maker and teacher. I don't know that you need to say professional substitute teacher because you're a teacher. Is that correct? Just
Sure.
okay.
A
I don't want to
substitute teacher.
misrepresent what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
said,
then
yeah.
okay. You would say, I am inspired to work with these people, and then I do this by. I want you to say, I work with underrepresented populations, people of color, and immigrant voices by creating workshops for the community, as a teaching artist for theater. Because what is, at the end of the day, Holly, what do you want to do? What's the one thing you want to do?
Well, I want work, paid work, not volunteer
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Or, I mean,
So, okay. So you are working with, I think, underrepresented populations. I mean, I think this is great. I just think it could be scrunched a little. So you want to be a teaching artist for theater?
yes.
Okay. So I think we could maybe like scrunch this up a little bit. My name is Holly Nanez, an independent theater maker and producer and with a background in education. And I would like to work with underrepresented populations. I would like to create workshops for the community, especially underrepresented populations. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's more concise.
Yeah, just more concise. Because I'll tell you, it's just like resumes. They say one page resumes, two if you need to, because we think we're way more important than other people do, and we just need to get them to like understand the crux of what we do. So now, Holly, I understand that you are looking for opportunities to be a teaching artist for theater. That's the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
So let's get to that point because people's attention spans are really short. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna do one more real quick with Sally Strokes, and then we're gonna go on to our next section, our next point. Hi, I'm Sally with Play More Charlotte, and I host playful adults only events to help grown-ups prioritize joy and make connections through play. I've been recognized in the streets of Charlotte as the Ball Pit Lady and Bubble Brigade, and I enjoy how you reclaim the joy you felt on parachute day in elementary class. Oh, I like this. Yeah, this sounds fun. I'm gonna say it. Are you open to feedback, Sally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Adults only gives me a little bit of pause
Okay.
because it makes me think, oh, adult.
Right. Yeah, I've been having a hard time navigating the verbiage to use there. I mean, does 18 plus hit differently? Lovingly and respectfully, I not do events for children. So I'm trying to
I
figure
get you. I don't do birthday parties
out
for
three.
kids. One time. No. But yes, so no, I love this and I know exactly what you do. But adults only just kind of threw me for a loop. I don't know if that's for anybody else, but that was for me. So I'm thinking
You're
you
not
just
the
need to say,
first.
I host playful adults for grown-ups. Just for grown-ups. I host
Okay.
playful events for grown-ups. Just take the adults only. That's my opinion. If anybody else
Okay.
disagrees, they can put it in the chat. They can beat me up later. Please don't. I'm sensitive. But I love the specificity of this, the ball pit brigade, ball pit lady and the bubble brigade. I think ball pit lady hits a little like one example maybe.
Okay.
But I help you reclaim the joy you felt on parachute day in school and gym class. I don't think you need to say elementary school because parachute
Okay.
day people just already know. You can just say it's just taking out some words. I'm Sally with Play More Charlotte. I host events for grown-ups. Or you could just say I'm Sally with Play More Charlotte. I host events for grown-ups that help you reclaim the joy you felt on parachute day in gym class. Done.
Okay.
Well, and
It's just
actually you say grown-ups in the next line. So you could even just say I host playful events to help grown-ups prioritize
Oh,
joy. And then
you're
it
right.
goes without saying that you don't have to say the adults
Thank
only
you.
part because you're already saying grown-ups.
you're getting right to the crux of it. You see how like everybody with your pitch just I'm sorry to have to be so blunt, but you've got to get to the crux of what you do because people's attention spans are so short. So just get right to it. You don't have to say everything. I used to say, I do this and I do this and I do this. People don't care. They want the end result. What does that do? And so, Sally, yours is reclaim the joy you felt on parachute day in gym class. That is beautiful, succinct. That's really all you need. You can go into more detail and be like, yeah, I'm known as the ball pit lady or the bubble brigade. As you continue the conversation, those are really good. But starting off first impression, all you need is that first part.
Thank you
Fair?
so much.
Yeah. Is everybody tracking with this? Does anyone have disagree or I don't know why I'm telling you that I'm supposed to be the expert here. Hopefully this is tracking and this is making sense. Okay, I've got some chat to catch up with. Um, okay. Good. I'm sorry I can't go through any more of these right now, but exactly, Erica. We want punchy, we want memorable. So ID borify business meetings. Like I could even crunch it down to that. ID borify business meetings and events. Like just whatever you can do to like shorten it. Your goal is 2 sentences. One of them can be a run-on, but you don't have to jam pack it with like all these multiple syllabic words. It can just be, I help you reclaim joy of, gym class. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Erica. I'll get to that at the end. Thank you so much about my socials. Okay, let's move on. You can refine as you go. I already said this. Keep refining until it's right. And then once you change things, keep refining it again. If you find a word that you really like, or even better, someone tells you, oh, it's like you do this. If you get the gift of somebody restating what you do, oh my gosh, you need to think about it in that person's perspective, not what you do technically, but what they receive as a result. Okay, beautiful. Okay, does this make sense? Are we tracking? Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, something. Okay. Thank you, Tim, for that. Okay. So this is the second part of your pitch. Okay, so the first part is your intro. It needs to be short, condensed, and concise so people can easily refer you, so people can easily remember what you do. Second part of your ask is what do you need? What are the who, what, when, where, why? The why is very important and the how. And I'll tell you the reason why this came up. The reason why I reached out to say to you about this as well is because I went to Reciprocity Circle once and I was in this big group and we were all talking about what we need. And one gentleman said, I'm looking volunteers for this event. And the way it was designed was we each get like a minute to explain who we are and what we're looking for, our ask, all together, 60 seconds total. And he did this. And then the time that we were supposed to be spending sharing, yes, I can help you, I can connect you with this person, or I'm available, or I can volunteer. The rest of the time we were like, well, where is it? What time? What kind of volunteers do you need? Like we were trying to pull the information out of him instead of him having it already prepared. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about your battery on your cell phone is at 6%. You can send one text message to someone to explain what you need, what's going in that text message. All the details matter. Think about it. Has anyone ever sent out a press release before? Who, what, when, where, why, and how, if you got a how. The reason we want to include the why is because there was a study from Harvard. I did not go there, but there was a study from Harvard that said when you use the word because, you're 30 to, I think it was 30 to 40% more likely to get a yes. So they did this study where people were lined up at a copier, and this woman walked in and went up to the front of the line and said, "Hey, can I cut in line to make 20 copies?" I'm paraphrasing. And the person was like, "No." Then when she said, can I hop in front of you to make 20 copies because I have kids in the car and I got to take them to soccer practice? You're giving them a reason why. The increase was like 30 to 40%. So when you explain why you're asking for it, it's very important. Specificity, location, time, again, the who, what, when, where, why matters. Okay. So you want to be as specific as possible, both in your introduction and then in your ask. This would also be the same for grants. I'm sure I haven't written any grants in my time, but I'm pretty sure that there's probably like a number of characters if it's a virtual grant, or a length that you like, either a minimum or a maximum that you have to stay within. Is that right? And if that's the case, you need to condense that. And you can feel free to use Chat GPT or AI tools to help you. Okay, you might hate me for that, but they can come up with some creative ways for you to explain what it is that you do and kind of give you like that second opinion. Okay. Any questions about this? Thoughts? Does this make sense? Okay. And you want to make sure to paint a picture of the anticipated outcome, and this is the why. What happened in the past, if this is a repeat event, or what you want to have happen as a goal for why you're asking for the thing. You're not just asking for funding, you're explaining why. You wouldn't go into a funders meeting and say, or a founders meeting or investors meeting and say, "Hey, I want $50,000. They're going to ask you what, why? Then you need to explain what's the result, what's beyond just because I want to create a mural. Well, okay, that's great, but why? What's the why after the why? What do you want as a result? What is the result of this mural? It's not just a mural, it's to beautify the city, it's to unite people, it's to give a place for people to stop and reflect, it's to elevate Charlotte as a place that people find on social media because you have this really cool mural, whatever the why is. Okay. Any questions on this? I see Tina put in the chat, any creative Chat GPT prompts to help anyone create or refine their pitches. I started with here's what I do, here's what I want to communicate. What questions do you have? And just have a conversation with Chat GPT and allow it to get to the point. And I want to create a 2-minute or sorry, a 2-line, 2-sentence introduction, summary of what I do. How would you summarize this for me? I think you can even tell it to look at your website. And that's also a way to tell if your website is where it needs to be, or your social media is, if it's, here's my bio on my website. What would you say I do? And a summary in a 2-sentence summation. All right. Oh, okay. So Megan is on this call. Megan is actually someone who also took my comedy class. She is a teacher at Reedy Creek Elementary. And I sometimes will gather a whole lot of supplies materials for my events, and then I don't need them again when I do like games or whatever with my clients. So I had a whole bunch of stuff that I really didn't want to keep holding on to because I just didn't have another need for it. So I asked Megan, "Hey, could you use some of these supplies?" And she's like, "Absolutely." And so then as I was getting ready for this, I was like, well, it's been about a year and I've just had that big event that I did again this year and I have a bunch of supplies left. And I was like, well, this would be a cool thing to ask the Charlotte Reciprocity Circle. Does anyone have any leftover supplies? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Priya. So I reached out to Megan and asked her a couple of questions, got some information from her, and then I was like, well, here's my pitch, here's my app for Charlotte Reciprocity Circle. And it's my introduction, and it's why I'm here, and the story, which are the storytelling elements that go into the why that I'm here. So there's two things that Megan mentioned to me, and I'm giving you way more background, and then I'll actually share my pitch that comes out of it, because so many times we have to condense down what happened into the story that people care about and retain. So she said that they have any decorations for holidays, any holidays at all, cross-cultural, for any upcoming holidays throughout the year, any decorations that you're not using. And because they use that for creative art projects. And then also for school dances, anything kind of glittery, because the theme is denim and what was it, Megan? Denim and bling. Is that right? Okay, we're going to assume that's right. So is that right, Megan? Yeah, she's nodding. Okay, I see you. Okay, she's still nodding. You're coming off a feed. Are you going to say something? Okay, I think your microphone is going on in and out. Okay, all right, that's fine. So what it ends up being is, so this would be an example of my ask, okay? So I introduce myself, and then my ask today is that I have a question. Who remembers being in elementary school? Raise your hand. And then who loved art class? Because we're all creatives. And who remembers their very first school dance? Anyone? Okay, boy, do I have an opportunity for you. I can be as fun with it. I can incorporate my adjectives as I'd like, like being more fun and, just kind of like memorable and just fun and lighthearted. So I would love to ask you if you have any leftover holiday decor from any holidays throughout the year, any culture at all. My friend at Reedy Creek Elementary is putting together some supplies for upcoming projects, plays, and also for their denim and bling school dance. So anything sparkly, any kind of holiday decor. I would love to get anything you're not using around the house, so go home and just kind of look through your stuff and let me know. Here's my card, hand my card. And I would love to come and pick up anything you have that you would like to donate to Reedy Creek Elementary for their art department. I'm collecting donations through the end of January. So please reach out to me. And if anyone would like to see a donation from last year, this is actually a picture of an example of the art that they used. I actually gave her these gold branches that I had used in centerpieces, and she used this for this art project. So it does go to good use. It's for the kids. And that's me. Thank you so much. And that's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have bullet points here that I wrote down about the who, what, when, where, why. So who, it's an art teacher at Reedy Creek. What, it's leftover decor and sparkly decorations. When, the end of January is my deadline. Where, I'll come to your place. If I didn't mention that, I'll come to your place to pick it up. And then why, it's for a school dance and for plays and art projects for Reedy Creek Elementary. And of course, I have the picture here, which just helps to solidify that it's going to a good cause. So it's relevant, it's personal. But I've also introduced myself on the front end so that even if you don't have any decorations, maybe you can refer me to someone, or now you know who I am, and it's an additional opportunity for us to introduce ourselves. So that was a lot. We have 4 minutes left. I would love to ask if anyone has any questions, thoughts, compliments, anything you'd like to share. Has this been helpful? Can you give me a thumbs up if you've learned something, some gems? I thought I saw it, I was shaking a head, and then I saw the double thumbs up. So thank you very much, Eliyahu. I was worried. I was looking at you. Okay. So what I would love to do is a quick recap, and then I have a quick survey. I'd like to ask you all if you could give me some feedback. I always love feedback. So again, quick recap. This is Charlotte Reciprocity Circle. This can also be used when you're honing your pitch. These pitches can take you hours to work on, several sessions. You just have to feel them out. But it's introduce yourself and what you do. It's very important. Get that succinct. Ask your friends. Ask people, how can I condense this down? What do you think I do based on this intro? Ask for other people. Number 2, share your specific ask or your pitch and be detailed and specific. And 3, incorporate a story into it. Show the picture, show why it's relevant, show why it matters. The power of stories. So yes, I would like to thank you so much for your time and attention. I know that it was this flew by. I can't believe it was so fast. I think I talked too much, but it was really great to chat with all of you. I would love it for you to connect with me on Instagram. I am also on LinkedIn. And then if you could please scan this QR code and just tell me about the presentation tonight, any suggestions you have and feedback. And then also, I'm asking you to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to give you a moment for this. And then the QR code, it's the same QR code on this page. So it's the same QR code here. If you can see my mouse, that's the feedback survey. But here is the QR code for Charlotte Reciprocity Circles. Tim's already done an amazing job of getting you all to sign up for that, and Creative Mornings, which is tomorrow. And if you would like more public speaking itself experience and practice, I do also partner with Skill Pop. We have a class coming up on January 23rd. It's $30 to enroll. You can get that at skillpop.com. But yes, please do just scan this real quick and give me some feedback. And then tell me something in the chat. What have you learned? What is a takeaway? What's a nugget, to use Tim's word, which I love? What's a nugget that you're taking away? Say to you, may have also said it, but give me a nugget. What did you learn? Add in the adjectives. Yes, think about how you can make your pitch different by having your unique adjectives incorporated in there somehow. I love that. Refine, refine, refine. Yes, I agree. You're never done. I'm not done. Get to the point. Get to the point, comma. Yes, it's so important that you are concise with who you are and what you do so that it makes it easy for people to refer you and to remember you. Time is not on your side. Well, Tim, you all are all about the 47 second pitches. So you're all about like, get this done. If you can do it in 47 seconds.
But I think it needs to be more like a 4.7 second pitch.
Yeah. Talk really loud. How to be more memorable. Reminders to be more concise. Concise. Yes. Simple outline of the pitch. If you want, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Capture this. We're also going to get the recording, but if you would like just to capture this as a reminder, please do so. If you would like. And yeah, we're at time. I always like to end right on time or early. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Hope that you found this beneficial. And yeah, continue to support Charlotte is Creative. Charlotte Creative will continue to support us. And thank you. Tim, say to you, anything in closing?
Well, we'll be fast because you said it. Lauren, you are amazing. Guys, please don't make this the last time that you see Lauren. Go engage her, take partner classes, go to Beerly Funny, really support her in all the things, because for the last few years, like we have known, she's been here to support so many people. So do it and understand that the only way you get good at telling your story is telling your story all the time. So what Lauren's asking you to do is right in line with us. Make creative friends and tell your story along the way every day for the next 365.
Thank you, Tim. Thank
Bye,
you,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks,
Not too late to
everyone.
set up for Saturday. Take care.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.